Right, morning guys. Today we're going to look at working out the volume of a cylinder. Now it's really easy if you just remember to do the same steps every single time, okay? Now the third example that I'm going to do is a little bit different, okay? So I'm going to be working backwards. Having been given the volume, I'm going to try and work out one of the lengths. So let's just have a look at what we need to do. So volume is the area, or no, the volume is how much space something is taking up, okay? So the volume of the cylinder would be all of the volume inside this cylinder, okay? And there's a nice easy way to work it out for a cylinder. We need to work out the area of the circular base. So to work out the area of the circular base, we use the formula pi times the radius squared. Okay, r is the radius, is the distance from the centre to the outside of a circle. So if we know that a radius, then we can work out the area of the base. Once you've done that, the volume equals the area times the height. And we can pop this all into one calculation if we've got all of the information. All we need, pi is a number, we get that on our calculator, nice and easy. This is all calculator. So we've been given the radius, we know pi, and we know the height. So let's do this first question as an example. So the volume will be equal to the area of the circular base, which is pi, times the radius, which is the distance from the centre to the outside, squared, times by, to get the volume, we just times it by its height. The height of the cylinder is 12. There we go, easy peasy. And then we pop it into our calculator and let the calculator do all the work for us. So, calculator on. We need the pi button. The pi button's down here at the bottom. It's in yellow writing, just behind the times 10. So we hit the shift, press the pi. Okay, so we got pi. We need to times that by 6 squared. And that is going to get me the area of the base. Now if I times that by 12, which is the height, I will get the volume. Now it's given it to me in terms of pi. Don't worry about that. Let's change it to a decimal because we get this here. And we get 1,357.168062. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round that to the first decimal place. So it's 1,357 point. I'm going to have to round it up because the next numbers are 6, so 0.2. So we get 1,357.2. Now here come the units. If we've multiplied three lengths together, I've squared the radius and I've timesed it by the height, then volume is measured by cubed units, okay, not area, which is measured by squared units. It's a really simple thing to do if you can remember the area of a circle times by the height of the cylinder, and that's it. So let's have a look at the second question. They've given me the height of the cylinder, but this time they've given me the diameter. Okay, the diameter, to get to the radius, I need to halve it. So the radius is half of 18. So the radius equals 9 centimetres. Now we've got the radius, we can work out the volume of this cylinder. So the volume is equal to the area of the circle, pi r squared, so it's pi times the radius, which is 9 squared, times by, for the volume bit, we just then times that by the height. The height is 30. This might be a slightly bigger number because it's a bigger cylinder. So in your calculator, shift times 10 gets us the pi. Okay, so there's my pi. Times it by 9, hit the squared button, so 9 squared. And then times that by 30. And then if I press equals, I get 2,430 pi. If they wanted it in terms of pi, I would write that, because that is in terms of pi. But I want a decimal, so I hit the SD button. I get 7,634 point to one decimal place means I'm going to have to round up because the next numbers are 7, so that becomes 0.1. We're working in centimetres, so it's centimetres cubed. Alright, try and remember that all we need to do is the area of a circle times by the height. And try and remember the formula for working out the area of a circle. Pi times the radius squared. Now, tricky question. This time they've given me the volume. And I want to work out the height. So remember how we do this. We work out the area of the circular base, and then we times it by the height. So let's work out the area of the base, which is pi times the radius, which is 12 squared. So let's work out that first. Shift pi times 12 squared is 144 pi, which is 452.4. Okay, so the area is 452.4. We're working in meters, so it's meters squared. Now, normally I would times that by the height, but I don't know the height. And I would then get the volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that in reverse. I'm going to take the volume and I'm going to divide by this amount, and it will give me the height. So 6,785 divided by 450. I've done that the wrong way round. 452.4 will give me my height. So instead of timesing the area by the height, I'm dividing the volume by the area. So AC 6,785 divided by 452.4 gives me 14.9977. I'm going to round that to the nearest metre, so that gets me 15 metres, which equals my height. So the height of my cylinder must have been 15 metres. Okay? Right, have a go at some questions that I've popped on, show my homework for you. Do your best. I've left a bit of space for you to do some working out. I want you to mainly try and work out some volumes of a cylinder, area of the circle times by the height of the cylinder. And then if you can have a go at some of these questions on finding the height of a cylinder or a missing value, that would be great. Okay, answers are at the bottom of the sheet, so you can check your workings to see whether you've done it right or not. Alright, if you haven't, go back and try and fix it until you get the right answer. Okay, have a great day, and I'll speak to you next week where we do a live lesson. Alright.